guys, welcome back to The Struggle. Nadeska, Wayno Akademiks here, Tuesday morning at Everyday Struggle.
Yes.
What's up, my friends?
Ak is back with another bad hat. What's going on? Good morning.
Yo, Wayno, my fitted game kills yours. you know, also, I be uneducated about some of the shit I wear. He was talking shit about my exclusive draft class Bucks fitted.
Draft class.
For real, that's
Yo, you know what I realized? I forgot to mention. When you bought your mom the car, why were you wearing a Pornhub backpack in the video? It was kind of weird. She didn't say anything about that?
Salute to Pornhub.
My mom would definitely be asking me what the
That's
fuck.
all like, see,
But a porn backpack?
After a while, like, my mom be like, yo, listen, she understand the method to the madness. Come on, man. Salute to Pornhub, too. You know, they posted it on their page. You know, come on, you know the vibes.
They posted it
know
from
the
their
vibes.
page.
You know the vibes.
Wow.
Buy one car, get one free
Let's
from
hope
Pornhub.
it's not in that bad category.
All right, you know what, guys? Today we're going to
I
start.
don't know what Wayno's talking about.
right.
Like.
Yo, I'm sweating. I feel so hot right now. We're here. We're going to start with some quick hits instead of ending the show with it. Just wrapping up some stories we talked about recently. Beginning with T.I. So remember last week he appeared on the Ladies Like Us podcast where he talked too openly about taking his daughter to the gynecologist. There was so much backlash that the host eventually deleted the podcast episode and issued an apology for laughing at the time, saying that they, quote, should have reacted much differently in the moment. Do you guys think this was the right move, like removing the episode, since it's already made the rounds?
You can't, I mean, once it touches the internet, that's it. Like, it's like,
forever.
Yeah, it's not going to get erased. That's kind of crazy that they deleted it. I didn't know that they deleted it. I mean,
I'm sure they just were not expecting it to.
I mean, you wanted to be lit. You know what I mean? You wanted to get that
First time's
attention.
hard.
I mean, I guess you know what the backlash probably came from other women saying what they should have done in that moment.
Right.
But I think that regardless to how anybody feels, it opened up conversation. That's what the whole point of having a podcast is for, to open up conversation. I don't think that they should have deleted it, though. I think that they just, you know, they kind of hurt themselves with their content with that.
Do you guys think they should have issued the apology even?
Shit. Fuck no. Listen, man, all that for a drop of clout, and they still fucking fumble the bag. Listen, you got to keep that. That's your viral moment. That's what's going to attract people to your podcast. And by the way, these are rookies, you know, in terms of broadcasting. They were just trying to get a moment. They were probably so hyped on T.I. being there that they didn't, you know, like think logically. And I think they realized it didn't really coincide with what they really thought. So that's why they deleted. But I think that's wrong. I did they deleted. Whatever content, when you're in the broadcasting content game, for good or for bad, listen, unless it's just something that's just so detrimental to just like people in general, you let it stay and you learn from it. Like, if I listen to their podcast or I'm a subscriber, I would want to see how you guys grow and educate and teach from that moment, not delete it and act like it didn't exist because it exists already.
But are they rookies? I mean, I don't know anything about the Ladies Like Us podcast. That's the first time I ever found out about it. Is this their first? I don't know if this is their first 100th episode.
It's one of the new podcast initiatives on Podcast One, the same podcast company that heads up T.I.'s Expeditiously podcast, so you can see why it's like a podcast label, right?
Okay.
Right.
And I think these two women, while they do have a name,
Right.
they haven't been doing this podcast for too long.
Right.
So while being new to it, you know, when you get a big guest, you probably don't want to, like, you know, you might feel like it's stepping out of bounds by checking them.
Right.
You know, just like, hey, so a lot of times people feel like when a guest comes in the building, you should be so happy to have them there. You can let them say whatever, and you let it go unchecked until you get killed later online when you let certain things like this go unchecked, especially if you're giggling just kind of in the moment. So, you know, again, I forgive them for that, but this is where you build from. Right? You build from here and you show people how you're going to get better. I've had mad embarrassing moments on camera. I've had also moments where, like, you would want it to be deleted in the immediate aftermath. But honestly, like, if you're in the content game, you got to take the good and bad. You can never only get the good.
But like, so the description of the podcast, it says they're going to provide you with a modern day woman's perspective on the universal issues we face each and every day. So understanding that, but also they probably felt like it was so off-brand for what they were trying to build. That's probably why they did it. But
I'm just saying, though, it's like everybody.
no, not that they did the right thing, but
yeah, I'm just like,
understand where they're coming from.
They're mad new. They weren't used to that backlash.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, it's like something that he said that, you know, what he does and is his daughter and.
But we always get killed for our reactions every single time. On every episode of the show, whatever he gets into, I get killed for how I react or don't react. It's just gonna happen. But yeah, it's hard being in that position if this is
what it is, though. We ain't going nowhere, though. Like, you know.
I'm gonna tell you another reason why it's bad. When you delete it, right? you leave it for other people to upload only that piece.
Exactly.
And that
With no
defines the entire,
context.
like with me, like, shit, I've said certain stuff that artists been mad at or people just take a little piece and put on Instagram.
Yeah.
But like, even if like it falls on deaf ears, I would like to tell people at times like, hey, go watch a full episode, hear me out a bit,
Right.
you know, and if you still have the same opinion, okay, cool. But like to delete the full podcast when you know that's the part that's gonna live forever,
Right.
you're robbing yourself of the context,
yeah.
even though there's not much to this.
Media lessons. All right, so here's something I never really expect to report. So according to a Swedish outlet called The Local, A$AP Rocky is actually scheduled to perform in Stockholm, Sweden on December 11th. Live Nation told them that he will reportedly perform inside the Ericsson Globe Arena. Obviously, this is going to be his first time returning to Sweden since he was convicted of assault there last summer and locked up for a pretty long time. I think a lot of us assumed that he was not going to go back there at least anytime soon, but the check.
What you think about this?
Nah, man, because niggas looked at Dave East crazy when he said for 100 racks I'll do it. The bag that A$AP Rocky got here was probably gargantuous. And of course he had to return to the scene of, listen,
He's so dramatic.
you think he want to go back here?
Yo, wait, remember, yeah, there were a lot of people boycotting at the time. Tyler,
Niggas was like, we're never going there.
Yeah.
The first person to go back there is the nigga they
him.
caught.
Right.
That
Yo.
check was amazing.
So everybody, niggas did all that for nothing. Niggas said, man, Sweden is canceled.
Yeah,
Right. Not for that bread.
Sweden just restarted himself by booking the same nigga they locked up.
Oh, man.
And actually though, you know, I'm not even only saying it's only because of the bag he's doing it for. This is a chance for A$AP to change the perception about Sweden, even though they locked him up,
Right.
to say he does have a lot of support. I imagine tremendous support is going to come out for his performance here.
I
So
wonder if the kids that called the police is going to be there. They probably, those are fans, right? Yeah, they'll be
new
there.
age
I'm them,
fans.
What they got
Boy.
paid? $433?
if I'm in there, I'm in there booing. Fuck that. I
in there booing?
want the real lawsuit because they ain't getting nothing out of that, right?
I like
doesn't
400
sound
something
like
dollars
it.
or something like that. Hey, listen.
Fumble the bag.
All right, so during a recent interview on Capital Extra, Akon was defending 6ix9ine's decision to talk to the feds, basically saying he's from a generation that, quote, really has no moral ethics. Take a look.
With Tekashi's a little different because he just comes from a generation that really didn't have no moral ethic. This generation is nothing like our generation coming up. Like our generation, we had rules. There were certain boundaries that we don't cross. There was a certain line of respect that we had for each other. There was always a level of selfishness that we just only kept to ourselves. But everyone goes through something in their life that propels them to do things that they feel is in the best interest of themselves. And I think you really can't blame him if what he's saying is the truth.
We're going to keep having this conversation for a long time, but Wayno, I could see you had a reaction as soon as it started playing.
Only because I think that due to social media, we're not giving enough credit to the people in these younger generations that do have integrity. And I don't think that directly what Tekashi 6ix9ine is going through is simply about his integrity or being a stand-up guy. All right, if he's not a street guy, if he's a civilian, then cool. My biggest problem with Tekashi is that it was cool when everybody was like calling him a gangster, saying Tessa's gangster and all of that. You know, that's the only reason. That's the only issues I really have with him. I don't have no personal issues with him at all. I just feel like we always talk about every generation not having morals and ethics. People said the same shit about my generation when I was in my early 20s about how we didn't have no respect. And I'm pretty sure that older people said that about the generation that Akon, I'm probably guessing he's a little bit older than I am, not too much, but I'm guessing he's older than me. Probably said that about his generation as well. I just think that like because of social media, we like to think that there's a ton of non-stand-up people that are out here when it comes to the streets in that field, and that's not true. While there is a lot of people who you know, go against whatever code they're supposed to be representing. I do think that there are a lot of stand-up people, and nobody salutes that. So I don't want to just I don't want to just reduce it to, oh well, he's not from this life.
It's a whole generation, yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's not from that life. So listen, he was from that life. He was of that life. You see it in the charges, and he did what he had to do. And I'm not gonna say salute to him, but that's his own journey. He got to go on. He got to look in the mirror every day and deal with that. Not me. So.
Hey, I did make the statement on here before that personally, just what I've seen in terms of like just even output from fans and comments, I think it's a vocal minority that have a problem with this. And it was like we saw the Meeks, the YGs, they spoke up, but now we're seeing even the opposite, even in some celebrities. I wouldn't expect Akon to say this. And somebody asked me in terms of our CompassCon interview with the game, they said, yo, Ak, ain't you his boy or whatever? Why would you be critical of the game, feeling bad for him? Because honestly, I don't understand why the game would feel bad for him. Like even remove all of that, like this is someone who had an issue with you and now this is the situation he's in. I don't know why you would feel bad for him, given that even when he had a situation with you, he was standing on everything he was saying. Right. So I'm a little confused when I see Akon say this, or even the game. I expect younger fans to pretty much be down with like, yo, we want our favorite rapper back. Yeah. When I see, and this is what I think is setting up, like when you see rappers like even Akon in the game say what they've said, I think it's pretty much letting people know that, hey, we've either acknowledged that he's about to come back and really continue his career, or we're acknowledging that there's a changing of times and there's really not much repercussion, whether culturally, socially, or even however else for this type of behavior. So, I think it's just changing the times.
I think that when he does come back, it's gonna spark a whole movement of kids that just say that they not street niggas, and I'm for that. But I'm not for like poking at the dragon of the streets and then crying when you get burnt. You know what I mean? But I do believe that it's gonna be a whole thing of kids that saying like we not with that, and there's gonna be more rappers that come off the rip saying I'm just rapping like this to get popping. I ain't street or nothing like that. And to each his own. Like, I'm just saying like when it comes to dealing with like streets or street shit, just it pays to don't join no gangs, kids. Like, it just pays to not be a part of none of that, because you know what you sign up for when you sign up for it.
Right. It's definitely going to be interesting to see when he comes home. What's the latest update on that this year, next year?
Well, he has a sentence, and I think he's hoping for time served. If he gets out on time served, he should be out probably next month or maybe the month after.
Wow.
Unless he gets some years.
Crazy.
We'll see.
Okay. We'll see. All right, so Tory Lanez is about to drop Chicks Tape 5. He had to focus on any negativity, but Ak seemed to have some extra context for this, so we'll get into this one. According to TMZ, he got into a fight with Prince Michael Hart of Love and Hip Hop Miami at LIV over the weekend. Of course, no. They released footage of it, of course, and then LIV issued a statement kind of confirming that the fight happened, that security broke it up, saying they have a zero tolerance policy towards violence, etc. But yeah, Tory has a lot going on right now, but Ak, what's the issue here? You showed us, but
I didn't even know who this guy is, but apparently he's like a promoter turned rapper. He's on Love and Hip Hop Miami, apparently. I guess the song that Tory dropped, the Jerry Sprunger song, which is
the T-Pain,
yeah,
I'm Sprung sample, which is really dope.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right?
shit is hard.
Apparently he did a song similar. His song didn't get cleared, and Tory's song got cleared. T-Pain's also featured on it, and it's out. So he had made some statements on his Instagram story to say, hey, if I'm in a club and I see any DJ who plays Tory's song and not my song, you better be ready with your fist or your security, because we gonna have a conversation.
Yeah,
why is it Tory's problem that his song didn't get cleared?
Hey, I don't know. Anyway, after those comments, which is, he didn't really threaten Tory. He was basically saying that if DJs choose Tory's record over his, that's a problem. But you can imagine Tory's taking that as, you're kind of hating on my record. I have no idea why your record didn't get cleared. Right. So he sees Tory in the club, approaching Tory to either, I don't know, maybe clarify but apparently he was trying to dap Tory up. Tory wasn't having it, and that video happened. I mean, I think we've learned now that like that same energy has to be kept in terms of if you're talking shit to someone, maybe not approach them at the worst time possible, at a festival, at a nightclub, trying to like mediate that. If you didn't get on the phone with them before, you never know what might happen.
Yeah, I just don't like. All right, I understand the club, the venue having a zero tolerance for violence, but where's the zero tolerance for disrespect? Like, it seems like there's no zero tolerance for that in this internet age and this trolling age. Like, we talked about this our last episode, how people could just say whatever, and like that's a threat when you say, yo, if a DJ play his song and not mine, they better have their security right. And he might be specifically talking about DJs, but why are you bringing Tory name up at all? Like, You ain't say if you don't play my song, it's gonna be a problem with the DJs. You said if you play Tory's song, it's gonna be a problem. So once you start saying that, you disrespecting him or you talking about him like he's sweet or like it's going like something's gonna happen. And I just think that like too many people, because you can upload that and say what you want and not have to back up what you say, because most of the people that say shit online never run into the people that they say shit to. This is the result. This is the result of trolling. You know, so if you're gonna be talking like that, make sure you got some skills. If you talking about hands, make sure you taking some classes or something. For real, yo, you can't be talking like that.
Low key, when I first saw this, I was like, this has to be a Love and Hip Hop play.
Shit, Tory ain't on no Love and Hip Hop.
but you don't think that Mona Scott is gonna reenact this? Get somebody with, you know, the newly crisp hairline to sock this dude? Like, come on, man. Like, this is a moment that should have been called by a Love and Hip Hop camera.
Yo, if it is, that's more promo for his record. And it's already a great record, so good for him.
You know, it's only 2019, man. It's about to end. It's about to get funky this next decade. I ain't gonna lie.
Listen, we're talking about, what was his name? Prince Hardy Hart. Like, again, no disrespect to him, but I've never heard of him. You get me?
I mean, what if he takes that as disrespect?
Hey, man, you can go to DJs if you play Lil Axe record and not mine.
Man, Lil Axe say my name.
Hold on, as a DJ, yo, salute to the DJs out there. You got to deal with people threatening you if you do this and you don't do that. Like, you got to have your hands ready. Imagine you're playing the songs in the club. By the way, the interesting thing that, again, more context to the video, that night, Tory was hosting the club. So Tory's not there just partying. He's hosting the club. You show up. If we're to believe what you said online, if they play any of Tory's music while he's hosting the club, they better be ready with their hands or security. Come on.
You just can't be talking. Listen, you don't be talking like that. Like, people gotta stop talking like that. Cause when something happens, then it ain't none of that. So, you know.
And also
take some classes, man.
Also, from what I heard, I didn't confirm this, but I heard this as well, that lawsuits may be filed. So, like, he
really?
Might be, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's a check.
All right, so this another one has nothing to do with beef between humans, just Lil Pump versus a snake. Take a look.
Hold him up. Oh! Hey, look at my hand, bro. That nigga bit the fuck out of me, cuz.
You crazy bitch.
Hey, yo, I just got bit by a snake, nigga. I got bit by a snake. Hey.
This usually only happens at the VMAs. So a fan was concerned. They said, when an accident happens on a video set like it did to Pump, could the artist press legal action against the production crew, or who's at fault in this case for putting the artist in danger?
I don't fucking know, but are we mad at the snake? I'm not mad at the snake. It's a snake. When people use, what do people use to describe an untrustworthy person?
Don't talk about
snake.
Like that.
No, seriously. What's the first thing a person say? Oh man, that nigga's a snake. You need to cut the grass so the snake's for show. So when the snake do some snake shit, now everybody's mad at the snake.
Cut the grass so the snake's quick show. I don't hear that one very often. You're very religious, so snakes must be the same thing.
That nigga be lying, man. Don't let him tell you that. He has a pet snake. He has a pet snake.
Yeah, you're right.
You should know that a lot of things in the Bible, they're more symbolic than actual literal.
Right.
But you know, if you want to consider literal, you can. I mean, again, this is an animal as well. You have to know how to deal with animals. By the way, there was a trainer that was trained, and he ain't getting bit. He's trained to hold the snake. Now, again, a lot of times, like I was talking to Juice WRLD, like they did something where there was an actual live crocodile, like in a swamp, and they did the bandit video there. And I'm like, suppose something happens, like these animals are unpredictable. You know, as a snake owner, the way how Pump
you don't own one of those. You don't own one of those.
Stop playing with my snake, man. My snake is huge. Pause. Yo, the way
Let's
how.
go to the next topic. Like, yo, come on, man.
What's wrong with this guy? Yo, the way how Pump grabbed the snake, anytime a snake is in an S-shaped position, it's ready to strike. It's an aggressive defensive position that it's ready to strike on anybody who touches it. The way he grabbed it, come on, man. Like,
so you're saying he should have known better?
Yeah, they should have taught him, like, hey, you grab him like you don't grab him aggressively, because he's gonna turn around, he's gonna bite. Come on now.
Whatever, man.
Never blame the animal, man.
I know, I'm about to go on a safari.
Don't have them
crazy videos.
If something happened to you, I'm blaming you.
I know you are. It's cool.
The animal is chilling, minding their own business. They ain't even. You think the animal signed up to be in a Lil Pump video shoot? Fuck no. Probably already aggravated by the goddamn music he's hearing.
My point exactly. Stop playing with these fucking animals. Animals are not your friends.
Some of them
are
friends.
Snakes don't even like loud noises. I had to move my snake from underneath my TV. He gets aggravated. I did some research on it. Moved him to a nice place that's a little bit more quiet. Like, they don't want to hear fucking 808s all day, bro. Okay, they're agitated off of that. Y'all are smoking, y'all do all type of bullshit. Yeah, man, you touch me again, I'm fucking biting you, man. It's not nothing where snakes.
Only a snake would defend snakes.
This guy.
Yo, man, let's go through.
That was a cheesy one-liner. Yeah, this nigga, man.
Let's go through some songs.
Wayne don't got no pets, that's why, man. Wayne, you need a pet.
I got a
His
dog.
dog.
I
You
got
got a dog?
Yeah, I got a French
real
bulldog.
All right, man, those, I don't like those. They require way too
I'm about to get a pig.
A pig?
Rex finally found a spot where you could get like a mini pig that only grows big in like 2 years.
trust
I've been wanting a
pigs,
pig forever. What? They're supposed to be super smart, like smarter than dogs, and they're cute. No? I'm gonna bring him to work.
Fuck pigs.
No? All right, whatever, guys. Thank you, Greg.
What's
Supports you
wrong
when I
with this
get
guy,
a pig.
man? Those are symbolic. The animals, they ain't do nothing wrong. Those are symbolic, brother. Look at his face.
Symbolic to what?
They're symbolic to either sins or whatever. Like you gotta read. You gotta read the holy book a little bit more. I know
Right,
you're
man.
a little bit different religion, but come on, man.
Today, for Brick Hit or Wait on It, we're gonna start with a new one from Lil Baby called Whoa. Wow? Whoa.
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 Okay.
Second single from his upcoming album, Brick Hit or Wait on It. Wayno.
Hit. 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 Lil Baby, he just, you know what it is? I don't know what it is about this nigga. He's really talented. I think that he gets a lot of credit for like QC and not enough for his talent. Like, he's a talented artist, man. He could really rap and he has a knack for putting records together. I'm calling it a hit right now.
Okay.
Shouts to Lil Baby. Shouts to P too.
P wants to call this nigga, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Nigga shot at 5.
He ain't got my number.
Definitely a hit. Oh, it's the same thing on both sides. Yeah, hit. I mean, you kind of summed it up. Like, pretty much, I heard this song. Like, I like how you previewed it, and yeah, he can't. Even when he misses, he can't miss. That's what an artist usually have in their run. Like, they just can't miss at that time. So, still having his run, good for him.
All right, what about Plies featuring the Baby, Boss Friends?
Boss Friends. I would say wait on this one. I think it's gonna grow into something. The thing about Plies, Plies has always had a knack for having them one records, you know what I mean? And he has the Baby on this. I think like it's gonna be something, but wait on it.
Brick. And I'm gonna say Brick because you got the Baby on it. I'm expecting hit quality music. And in reality, I feel like when it comes to Plies music, he's one of those people who has transcended beyond just like, is this song hot or not? It's like, he's a social media personality. And I feel like this social media drives the music. Like, I know he's a well-accomplished artist. I don't mean to compare him to like a Lil Duval or nothing like that. But like, just like how Lil Duval, he had a really successful song. What's the name of it?
Smile Bitch?
No. Is it Smile Bitch? Or the one
Smile
before?
Bitch was his most successful.
Okay, all right. Well, that was kind of like, that was a social media thing. And like, he operates a lot on controlling the social
Plies should
media.
get a little bit more credit than Lil Duval, though, for making records.
Okay, no, all right, but name the records that have worked for him recently. You know, like the
I haven't been keeping up in the
Ritz Carlton joint, which
Ritz Carlton was the shit.
which was like, yo, ran off on the plug twice. Like, like a lot of that, like the similarity and like and closeness to like the shit he already does on social media, that drives the record for me. Like, I don't think people just listen to Plies like, yo, is this song hot or not? So
They used to, though. I mean, I think it's because how he's throwing himself into social media.
Yeah, everybody has their time, but like, I think at this time, like, it has to be full circle for it to really connect.
I feel you on that.
All right, so this next one, Tory Lanez has been teasing for like about a year now. So this is him and T-Pain, Jerry Sprunger. So this one samples Payne's like hit record from 2005, I'm Sprung. Chicks Tape 5 coming soon.
Hit. I mean, the dopest part of it is like the nostalgia factor. It's good to see like I mean, T-Pain, you know, we always give T-Pain his praises, you know, plus he's going through a lot more recently. But I thought I wasn't gonna like it because it was like him featuring T-Pain doing the same song over, but how he played it. Like, I love the rollout for this whole Chicks Tape shit with the early 2000s stuff. Like, you see him do the Scary Movie shit over with the basketball playing. You see him have Ashanti do a photo shoot for the cover. Him doing this. It's just like, I love the way Tory pays it forward. So I say hit.
I'm gonna go on wait on it. And the reason I'm going wait on it is because, I don't know, like, again, even though I like his take on it, his twist, like, this record is, the beat's a little bit different. Don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that. And also, like, I just wanted to hear pain. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm so hooked on the previous record that.
But what did you want to hear him do with someone sampling slash?
This makes me want to go listen to the original record.
Okay.
That's it. You know, it doesn't make me feel like, oh, we brought it back. It's like, no, like, let me just go listen to the original record.
Okay.
So.
All right, fair enough. So what is it? A Wait on It for you?
Wait on It.
Yeah.
All right, how about Tyga? A Macarena. Follow up to Mamacita.
I just hope that nobody starts a narrative that Tyga is exploiting Mexican culture, anything like that.
Yes.
You think he is?
Come on, man.
Nah, I mean, I say wait on it, yo. I say wait on it. I mean, I think that Tyga, the funny thing about Tyga is every time he finds it, he stays on it. Like, he does not move, you know what I mean? And you seen that with the strip club shit. He kind of left, and then he got back to the strip club shit, and then now he sees that the Spanish wave is kind of working for him. I think he's, like, riding that pretty heavy. But A Macarena, what I would like to know more than if the song's gonna do well is how much they took on the publishing. Like, how much it took for him to clear that. Because that's a fucking massive, that's like a generational, like, life-changing song when it came out, so.
It's very true.
I'm gonna go and wait on it again.
I wanna hear your thoughts on you think Tyga's, you know, exploiting Mexico, or well, wait, what did they be saying?
Culture vulture?
No, not culture vulture.
I don't think he's doing that.
No, not culture vulture. What's the shit that they be saying when people be damn, what's the word, y'all? That people be saying, like,
exploiting.
Not exploiting.
Profiting off of.
What? Appropriation.
Cultural appropriation.
Cultural appropriation. Is this cultural appropriation, Akademiks?
No, I wouldn't say cultural. I think cultural appropriation is if Tyga actually acts like he's actually Mexican. You know? I think, you know, it's kind of like benefiting off a culture that you may have not contributed to in terms of like just kind of exploiting it, or that's sometimes they call that like culture vulturing. I don't really like, even though I think he's exploiting it, I don't think he's those extremes though.
I don't think he's
For me, I just ain't feeling this shit, man. Like, I like Tyga when Tyga does the strip club shit.
But you liked the last one, right? The last time we did one of these songs, you like it. Was it?
That's the.
But wasn't that a few
logo
songs
shit?
ago? No, it was something more recent.
No.
Was it the Mamacita one?
No, it wasn't the Mamacita one we talked about. We talked about it was if it's Jordan YG, that's the Go Loco, whatever that is.
Okay. All right, we have one more for this. Jacquees finally dropped his album, The King of R&B. He has a song on here featuring Tory Lanez called Risk It All. Brick hit, wait on it.
I say wait on it. But I did listen to Jacquees' album. His journey is dope. His album is actually really dope. I think, while I don't like the jumping out the window with all the King shit, I do think he backs up a lot of what he says as far as making music. He got a good album.
Well, hold that thought, Wayno, because that's coming up soon.
Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna say wait on it. Here's the thing with Jacquees to me. Like, Jacquees, like, while I do think vocally, he's kind of cool. He's dope. Where the fucking hits at? Where's the hits at? Like these records, they be cool, showcase his vocal talent, but then they never materialize to, like, if I ask y'all today, like, he's jacking the King of R&B thing, that's what, everybody who jacks the King of R&B thing, I criticize him differently. Because now you're not saying like you're in the mix, you're saying you're that nigga, and the heavy's the head that wears a crown. Name like 3 hit Jacquees songs. I know a bunch of songs that's cool. I know some remixes that he did that's cool.
He always want to do that.
I'm telling you.
I can't remember what I wore yesterday. You always do that.
No, it wasn't the y'all. It wasn't the y'all. It's like, yo, for me, I'm even to the audience.
I mean, B.D. Bed.
Okay,
but yeah, that's a hit record.
That's notably like his most.
Yeah, it's his biggest record. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, when you're claiming King, it's not only that you have the potential vocally,
but you gotta go ahead, my fault, because I want to say something to what you said.
Yeah, it's not only that you have the potential vocally to be that, and that you feel like you fit better in that lane. I'm just saying your record's got to perform. Like, yo, how come we have Kings that we don't require to have King-like performances?
Well, okay, so I do get that, but I feel like where's his hits at, sometimes we got to give music a chance to grow, right? Like, he just dropped this album.
So let's take the King off of it.
All right, let's take the King off.
Okay. You see, we have a different discussion.
You guys want to just, you know what? Let's just I'll introduce this clip, and then we could just have the conversation.
Okay.
So Jacquees is doing promo for the album, of course. So he was recently on the Breakfast Club, where again this King of R&B topic came up, and then he listed who he feels are the top 5 R&B artists, male artists of his generation. Check it out.
The top 5 R&B artists of your generation. When you say your generation, who is that?
Like, with me counting in, I think me, Bryson, Tory, And I'm not putting them down either, because these are my folks. You know, Tory, one of my best friends. Bryce and Tory. I like Pink Sweats. I like Brent Fayez.
I don't know who that is. I know everybody else. Brent Fayez?
I think he coming up on some underground shit. I like Party, and I like Black. I like all the young guys coming up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody coming up.
So again, that was just counting men, because there was a lot of
Where'd
dope
Jeremiah
women doing
fall
our
in that?
very thing. Huh?
I didn't hear his name.
Yeah, I didn't hear Jeremiah.
Where would you guys put Jeremiah?
I put Jeremiah as one of the top young. First off, I want niggas to stop acting like Chris Brown don't exist. That's number one. I
He's
don't.
probably not counting him in this generation.
Yeah, I think that's how they box him out.
But I'm just saying this of his generation. Like, what did you grow up on, my nigga? Like, Chris Brown is not 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? But all right, real quick.
But can we respectfully take him out of this conversation if he's comparing more recent artists, or are we
He's
grouping him
just
in?
saying his favorite up and coming guys.
The only reason I think they take Chris Brown out of the conversation is that Chris Brown has accolades that they'll never have.
It's been like a decade of making music.
Yeah, but still, like, I mean, when I hear
Over
niggas
a
talk about
decade.
Kings and shit, and by the way, like, everybody he mentioned, like, Daniel Caesar is like better than. So I don't know what these niggas be talking about sometimes.
Finally, glad you caught up.
And also, yeah, I was watching
Pink Sweats is very dope as well.
He's super dope.
and-
Brent Fayez is also
Brent
great.
Fayez is
P&D
very dope
hasn't
as
been
well.
putting out enough music.
I would take
Black,
P&D.
of course.
Shit, we ain't gonna count Drake as an R&B nigga?
No.
Drake is an R&B
Nah.
nigga.
No.
Yeah,
I
we're not
was
doing that.
just saying that about Joaquin Osiris. Like, Drake got better R&B joints
We're
than
not
y'all
counting
niggas.
Drake in this pool. Stop it.
All right,
No,
nah,
I know not in this pool, but what I'm saying is that like we gotta like really think about R&B, and I think the only reason why they get away with even saying this and we even having somewhat of a discussion about it is because like R&B is so different and landscape is so like hers better than these
I was about
niggas.
to say
These
that.
niggas trash.
Who's your favorite
Well,
R&B
not
artist?
trash,
To me,
Trash is out there.
my own personal opinion, her is the best. Because I met a kid at Complex Con and he kept telling me that, what's her name? Summer Walker is top 5 of the past 10 years and all this other shit.
You believe that?
I think it's just too early to just
I mean, there's so many people who are not
And
counting. Like the internet, Sid has been
Yeah,
making
Sid
great
been
music. The
making
internet
music
as a group makes really good music. There's
Absolutely.
Nayo, if I'm saying it correct,
Frank
she's from
Ocean,
the UK.
Frank Ocean don't count no more?
There's a lot of people that's Masego that we're not even
All right,
considering.
I think her is, to me, nobody can fuck with her. As far as R&B right now, like making R&B top to bottom albums that you could put on and not turn off. A lot of all these niggas, the Jacquees and all of them, can't fuck with her. It's strictly R&B overall.
And this is why I get into this R&B King conversation, because I don't think they want to go up against her, a Daniel Caesar, even a Summer Walker, even a SZA. I think they kind of box it into what traditionally we've seen the R&B King to be.
We need Nicki for
and
this.
so they look at the last king as the last king is Chris Brown. What type of music, like who fits the type of palette of music he was putting out? So that's why he throws in Tory in there. I get Tory's dropping a tape and legendary series, but come on,
I'm
man.
gonna tell you something that none of these niggas do. They don't dance. And that's a big part of R&B. No, dead serious. None of these niggas dance. None of these niggas can dance.
Hold on. I feel you, but I don't need my R&B singers to dance.
Yes,
all
you
the time.
do.
Chris Brown is different than a Daniel Caesar. I do not need Daniel Caesar to dance.
But it's mad. I'm just saying.
He's like a flawless voice. I'm good on him dancing.
Historically, the R&B King.
Niggas dance.
Before Breezy was Usher.
It was
You feel
Usher,
me?
and
Like-
I'm gonna keep it 100. And why he might have not made the music that put him in the same. Oh, niggas can't fuck with Omarion when it comes to
Okay, so then hold on.
Omarion is one of the
If we're
one of
using
the
this
best
criteria,
dancers.
then are you disqualifying all these people because they don't dance?
Niggas don't. I'm just saying. Wait a second. We want our rappers to rap.
But that's why he's saying there's subgenres of it
Oh,
now, right?
see, that's what I'm saying. It's like what Punch said, where he said niggas is always making up a new category of the first artist to record on the Friday night, to put it out Friday night and Saturday morning to be on the top charts.
Yeah.
That qualifies you to be number one. You got
You're
it.
right.
Niggas don't dance no more.
Yeah, I feel you, but Brent Fayez, it's like I don't need his music to.
I mean, I don't need him to dance. I'm just saying,
No, I
like
get you, though.
that's
I
an
get
extra
you.
plus
Yeah.
if you could dance
Yeah,
as
you're
an
right.
R&B.
And I'm gonna say, what generation are like the generations are like. Joaquin Osiris came out in the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Party Next Door been out since like
2011.
2012.
Right.
You feel me? Like that's 6 years apart. That same generation. I feel like they made up these generations to box out an actual king.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
And
It's
also, Like when it comes to
How old
R&B,
is Jacquees?
I don't know, but he's been around for a while.
Mid-20s,
But he's young though. He's still really young.
Hey, yo, and this is what I be saying, right? Like when it comes to R&B Kings, like
25. And
I gotta look at y'all concerts too. I don't want to see like y'all just show up. Like where y'all performing? Like if y'all niggas the R&B Kings is performing in clubs, y'all can't have 5,000 women lining up for y'all. Like what kind of king are y'all?
You can't
Like,
call yourself an R&B king and women ain't passing out and throwing.
That's
their bras
fine,
and
but
their
is there
panties
a
they doing it
how
for
about
A$AP
this?
Rocky. They not doing it for the R&B King.
I was just showing you guys that clip when Drake I did that interview, he was talking about Hold On, We're Going Home. He wants it to be like a wedding song in the
Right.
future type thing. Daniel Caesar's a wedding song kind of dude, right? He's been on my playlist. Didn't he
Absolutely.
perform at Justin Bieber's wedding? So I understand he's not dancing, but can we add some
Nah, that
more?
nigga's fire. Look, I swear, and I fuck with Daniel Caesar. You know why I fuck with Daniel Caesar? I seen him at a party at Grammy weekend. He told me he watched the show.
Of course he does. Yo, he's been a friend of the show since the first season. He knows.
That nigga, nah,
Niggas started fronting on him after he defended against Jules. That's what happened.
Huh? Yeah, they did start fronting. Niggas start fronting on him after that.
Yeah.
But he is artist, just artist.
Yo, Freudian's one of the best albums, R&B albums of the past
I'm
decade.
gonna be honest.
Fight
I
me.
gained a new appreciation. I mean, I've not like been completely like like know all of his shit, right? But I was watching him at the Camp Flogdon Festival, right? And he performed, and like I was watching with my audience. I was streaming it, and my audience, they fuck with Pump and all these other niggas. They were all in. They were like, yo, this nigga is amazing. But not only that, just watching the crowd, watching like 15,000 people just being completely captivated. I get it. It's not the fucking bump and grind, like dancing all over the place type of music, but like he completely had them like emotionally like on a string.
Y'all are late. Catch up, bro. All right, so he doesn't just have to be dancing. We can agree on that one.
Show up to the joint.
He was busy performing at Bieber's wedding. Come for the
Hey,
reunion
Bieber had a-
anniversary.
Oh, yeah, Bieber did get wedding.
All right, let's do this one for Wayno. Big Facts of B.S. Andrew Barber making a repeat appearance, I think the second time in like 2 or 3 weeks. He said, I know you think a record deal will solve everything, but a label does not make you hot. Yes, they can take you from poppin' to star, but you gotta slay. What? Oh, sorry. You gotta lay the real foundation beforehand, and this is a fact.
That is big fucking facts because I can't stand these artists who cry and complain about what a label don't do for them all day. Because you know what they love? They love when they get that check. Oh, I got the check, it's lit, you get to run around. Soon as you start running out of your money, then it's, oh man, the label ain't doing this, the label ain't, what are you doing for you, my nigga? So yes, big facts, thank you, Andrew Barber, appreciate you, brother, big facts.
Yeah, I was gonna call BS on the first half, but the second half kind of clears it back up, and I'm gonna agree with Big Facts. Because the first half is where he says, I know you think a deal would solve everything. I don't believe that's true.
They do, artists think that, bro.
The label does not make
But
you
he
hot.
says, a label does not make you hot.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, there's some industry plants
Yes,
in
we
here the
know
labels has
industry
made
plants.
hot.
That's a lot.
But then he said the second thing, which is the second half of his tweet, which is, yes, they could take you from being poppin' to a star. And in reality, like, if I see an independent artist now, you don't really need a label, and I think that's what he was really trying to say. If I see an independent artist who's kind of popping in their city, like you give them a radio team and you give them somebody who can really help them get on playlists, and maybe one PR person, and they moving. Like that's the label. That's literally the label.
It costs money for that.
You get
That's
me?
what I just want niggas to know. That costs money because people think, oh, give them this, give them that. That costs bread.
Yeah, no, well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what the label's encapsulating. Like you could actually break down, like I've seen mad artists who are popping, but they haven't signed it, and really they're playing the waiting game to sign.
Right.
And you know, like pretty much, they just need to sign. At least when you're a little bit seasoned, then you've kind of seen one or two. Like they just need somebody who's gonna take that record and actually like really distribute it to get it on a Spotify playlist, get it on Apple Music. Have them really consider it rather than the like dropping a bucket like, hey, look at me, I'm just an independent artist. So you do need some help. It doesn't necessarily have to be a label.
Right.
So I'm gonna call it Big Facts because of that last
Big facts.
line he had.
Big facts.
So do we have time for a fan question now? Let's see. You guys have actually been sending a lot recently. I think we can do one. Hey guys, I'm a big fan of the show. Thank you. We appreciate you all the way from Africa.
Where in Africa?
Where in Africa? Where in Africa?
They think we ignorant? I know Africa. My best friend's from Lagos, Nigeria.
Nigeria. By the way,
They Igbo too. Go
we
ahead.
never talk about Burna Boy on here, but I was telling Wayno, he has one of the best albums of the year.
I'm
He's
gonna
been
show
killing
him.
it. I want to give him all
listening
the
to it.
Everyday
Put it in the
Struggle
group chat.
awards. I'm sorry, I forgot, but that's all I've been listening to recently. Nothing new that's dropping, just
I really
Burna
gotta
Boy.
figure out what Nadeska be coming with some curveball joints. Like, What do you really be listening to?
Well, let's finish the fan question though.
Act doesn't care about.
Okay.
So yes, big fan of show from Africa. My question is, Dreamville, QC, and TDE rosters have all at some point put out a collaborative project. Do you think we'll ever get an OVO sound collab project? And if not, why do you guys think so? Well, we'll just go straight to the source here.
Come on, let's go to.
Have you talked to Obs about this already?
He ain't tell me nothing about this. This is my opinion. Fuck no. Like, why? You know, I mean, the most you get is like, didn't y'all see Baka on Top Boy and Drake was on Top Boy?
But why not?
Well, honestly, I just feel like it's just, in terms of compilation albums for any group, like, it can't be that unfair where you have the biggest artists in the world plus like people you like almost know.
Yeah.
That used to work with like 50 in them. I think these days it's more like if you don't even know the collective that well, like, nah, man.
If the music is good enough, right, and Drake is promoting, I think Division's amazing. I still think September 5th, I don't know if you've ever heard that album. Incredible album. They just like didn't get like a ton of promo. So when we were looking at the QC compilation, weren't we on track 55?
Right.
Trying to figure out who the artists were. You're telling me if they put out a really good, it'd be more R&B vibes project, no one would care?
All right, so let's go a little bit more behind the scenes with OVO.
Okay.
So, do y'all look at Drake more as an executive or as an artist?
Artist.
As an artist.
Yeah.
So if I'm Drake the artist, am I really incentivized to do that? Like, of course I'll help them, I'll give them features, but why would I, like, again, I'm still at that point where I'm trying to just keep up being the hottest in the game, like really almost potentially take a hit to put them on.
Well,
so what's the point of even having the label then?
I'll fucking feature in a tweet.
Nah, I mean, most hottest artists have done that in history. Historically, most hottest artists have done that. They've put, and not to say that Drake didn't put nobody on because he gave us Party. I mean, like, I was more receptive to, even though Weeknd was an OVO, I was more receptive to Weeknd being a Canadian artist because of what Drake laid down as foundation for Canadian artists prior to that. So I would want to hear whatever the next shit coming out of Toronto is gonna be. It's mad dope ass artists from Toronto that people still don't even know about as well. That's not on OVO that he could take a chance, or not just take a chance, but it would be dope to see him make a compilation where he could give niggas some alley-oops.
Secondly, this is why I don't think it would happen anytime soon. I think the way how OVO moves, they don't move as a collective or a unit as opposed to TDE or even a mob. And when you don't move that way, it would be kind of artificial to kind of lock in for a project unless you're literally just taking records all over the place and just putting
them niggas be all together, Akademiks. You seen the finals. What are you talking about? Wait, you watched that.
When's the last time y'all seen Roy
Preem still hang out with Drake.
He's reps up.
What?
He's reps up OVO. Like, he got his own thing going on.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, they still together.
Look, McConan, he out of
What's good with like Majid Jordan? You're just like trying to pick on. You're like naming the names that. Of course, McConaughey's not the one, but.
Oh, come on, exactly.
Okay, Roy Woods. Like, I mean, I do think he tries to help them, but if I'm me as Drake, I think it's a Khaled thing in a little way. Like, I don't think Drake has ever been. We never look at Drake as a top executive, but it's like, nigga, if I'm popping, like, yo, y'all gonna get y'all chance. I give y'all some cosigns, but like, to keep it real, I'm gonna make more by hogging the ball. It's like the Kobe
I'm just saying, how do we not look at him as a top executive? They got the fucking OVO facility for the Raptors.
That's more of a businessman more than an executive.
That's executive moves. He got the OVO Jordans. They got the OVO executive, not like a club in the Air Canada Center. We can't get a fucking 12-song album. Academic, you make it.
Yeah, I hear everything you're saying. I just don't get it.
Okay, and all right, the last one.
Okay,
like,
last
really
one. Gotta go. All right.
Now, I do think it could potentially happen, but it has to probably happen something along the lines of how Top Boy, the soundtrack happened, right? Where there's a reason, not just Drake putting it out. Yes, he's heavily featured on it, and he uses all of his artists. I mean, we've seen
that's what the soundtrack. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the soundtrack. That's what the soundtrack is. Because I would like.
It's some OVO artists plus others.
Like the Black Panther soundtrack was the TDE compilation. That's exactly what it was. But they kind of marketed it that way. You know what I'm saying? So we haven't seen a rollout, like an OVO rollout and all that. I'm just, as a fan of music, you want to see shit like that.
Like when they're doing OVO Fest, wasn't there at least one year where he was like heavily promoting the OVO lineup?
Yeah,
I don't remember if a project came out at the time.
No, as I said, I think that's like the way to do it.
Right.
But do I think like he's gonna go on a fucking press run?
He doesn't have to go on a press run. It's just weird. It doesn't seem like it would be
keeping all the good songs to himself. That's what it is.
Whatever.
Keeping all the good songs to himself.
Love, man. He be tweeting these
sharing the love. Yo, guys, thank you. Keep sending us your questions and send us some videos if you want, 30 seconds or less, ideally. We're on Twitter at EverydayStrug with 2 Gs. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you here tomorrow.
Plus, they gotta stay in the OVO sweatshop, man. Let him stay there, bro.
I was surprised you made it the whole topic without saying that.